Debbie, let's move on to the implications for health of the 15-minute city, 20-minute neighbourhood policy.
Yeah, well, I was very interested, obviously, in knowing what the impacts was going to be with regards to health. And I found a few articles, one from Social Market Foundation, well, a couple of those, the ones in the middle, Health on the High Street, and creating new health hubs for high streets after the pandemic. And also on the right, you can see that one that's been the briefing was based on the Chatham House rule. So clearly there's a big agenda. So I've got a couple of little videos. The first video is about 15-minute cities, and you'll see the mention of health, but just have a look at this little bit of video.
Before the recent lockdowns around the world, we led hectic lives with long commutes and not enough time to spend with our families and friends. Traffic polluted our air and smog blanketed our skylines.
What if it could be different? What if we could create a new normal where we reclaim our time, our health and well-being, and our communities?
This is the idea behind the 15-minute city, a growing movement to make our lives in cities more convenient, less stressful, and more sustainable. A 15-minute city is one where everything we need is close to home, where communities are safe and inclusive, where the air is clean.
A 15-minute city is one where it's easy to get goods and services. Fresh groceries, healthcare, and other amenities are all just a short trip away. A 15-minute city is one where everyone has a place.
A 15-minute city has affordable, accessible, and adaptable housing for households of all sizes and ages.
A 15-minute city means that you can work close to home or work remotely more often.
And we all play a role in our neighborhood.
What if we don't go back to life as it was? What if we already have the power to change how we live? Together, we can reimagine and create the future we want. One that is cleaner, safer, healthier, and more inclusive, and gives us back valuable time to enjoy the little things.
So that was from C40 Cities, and I'm sure I don't think we're going to be going back to the old normal anytime soon. So how does that actually impact us on the high street? You know, you and me, how are our high streets going to be redesigned? And the NHS is definitely coming to the high street. So have a look at this next little bit of video, which will tell you what you can expect on your high street very soon.
High streets across the country have been in a gradual stage of decline, with many high street retailers closing stores and leaving behind large, empty premises, resulting in a reduction of footfall for neighbouring businesses, leading to a further decline and an unwanted social outcome. Health on the High Street offers NHS trusts an operating lease of fully fitted, fully compliant, multi-purpose clinical spaces in high street locations throughout the UK. This very simple solution solves two high-profile social and economical issues, helping to alleviate hospital pressures and waiting times while bringing footfall and life back to the high street. Health on the High Street helps increase footfall to high street locations, regenerating communities and retail establishments. It removes infrastructure constraints and allows the main hospital site to increase capacity. It provides significant cost saving and reduces waste compared to many new build projects. It reduces traffic and limits infection risks at the main hospital site. Locations are often more accessible with readily available parking and public transport. To find out more about our Health on the High Street solutions, contact our team today.
So there you go. And what we're seeing now is hospitals are going to be, it's going to be pretty much an adventure or a privilege, if you like, if you want to call it a privilege. I personally don't want to go to a hospital anytime soon, but it's going to be a very planned procedure. So what we're going to find on our high streets are hubs, and there are going to be hubs popping up absolutely everywhere. These are the family hubs that are popping up now. I've been looking very closely at family hubs, and they literally incorporate everything. They also incorporate something else which we'll come on to on another news, which is the first 1,000 days of life, which is probably as dark as it does sound. But we will come on to that. But these family hubs are going to be rolling out all over your high street. Likewise, your shopping centres, and even in Newcastle, we've got the government has now confirmed plans for a £20 million NHS scan and test hub in Metrocentre. And it says it will host one of the 19 new community diagnostic centres designed to offer patients a one-stop shop for medical scans and tests in the community. So you can see they don't want you going anywhere at all. They want you to stay within your high street. And indeed, Rishi Sunak has already announced now surgical hubs are coming. £33.5 million for surgical hub space. You've got super hubs opening. I mean, hubs for everything. There'll be literally hubs for a birthing hub, urgent care hubs, you name it. They're going to be popping up everywhere. So I just wanted to put into some context how the high street is changing and what you can expect to see on it very soon. And you'll be going down to the high street to get a scan. You'll be going down to the high street to get a blood test. You won't be popping in to the shops and having a cup of coffee. And if you do have a cup of coffee, there'll be a wellbeing hub to advise you how much caffeine you're allowed. So that's the kind of big brother that we're looking at within our own high streets.
So that was going to be my next question, Debbie, because there is a wellbeing hub being built in Plymouth City Centre at the moment. There was some discussion about whether it would actually go ahead, but it is going to go ahead now. So what is the purpose of a wellbeing hub?
Well, I think, as David said previously, well-being seems to be the new terminology for happiness. So maybe it's going to be renamed Happiness Hub, but obviously this is going to be looking at mental health. And so we're going to be bringing mental health into the high street as well. Everything's going to be brought into the high street. That's why all these department stores that have closed down, they're going to be turned into NHS hubs as well, probably surgical hubs. Although we did mention a few newses ago how Portakabin are erecting these kind of container units in hospital car parks. There'll be hubs everywhere, hub central.
David.
Just a couple of comments on this. I was looking at when it started, August 2020. Leaders from NHS, local government, community businesses, and a range of invited experts, we need the experts, attended a high-level roundtable event to discuss how we might embed health at the heart of our place. Use of architectural language there again. And the name for this process is the NHS Reset campaign. Interesting word, that.
Yes, indeed. Okay, if you like what the UK Column's doing, you would like to support us, please head over to community.ukcolumn.org. You'd be very welcome as a member, and your support very much needed and appreciated. You could pick something up at the UK Column shop, but please do share material you find on the various platforms. And speaking of sharing, we'd just like to remind everybody, if you're sharing material online which hasn't necessarily come from the UK Column about a particular topic, do please search the UK Column website to see if we've covered the same topic in the past, and you could maybe share that as well. That would be fantastic. And Debbie, a quick advertisement for your latest blog.
Oh, yes, thank you. Yes, please do check into my blog. I've just popped a few. Those are just a few of the topics that are on this week's blog. So please do go and have a look, because there's more stories in there than I can cover on the news. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Debbie.